Advanced audio. I just hope I got it right. Now, I just need to check if this works. And we'll have to go to my channel. See if it works, if it doesn't. Okay, it seems to be working. Oh boy, wait a second. Does it even work? Prime, hi there. Well, I guess it was worth spreading this tweet when I had a chance. Oh boy. Seven people, I'm sorry. 7 people came in already. I don't know for what reason. I will just be playing around for a while. I don't know. Today's news came in about special edition and I just have a lot of questions in my head and not too many answers for those. So I will be just playing some random missions. I have to check how does the how's the cheat table set up. I'm not gonna bother with preparations. I'm gonna bother myself with preparations a bit more, so before I even start playing it will take a while. So I guess you heard, yes, I did hear about DMC5 SC, and I've got to say, I'm actually more happy that it's not coming to PC, to be honest. Because special edition announcement turned out to be such a letdown that I'm actually, I cannot say that I'm entirely happy that it's not coming to PC, because technically it doesn't come to consoles, to old consoles. I mean PS4, Xbox One X. Therefore, people that are using those consoles are getting their asses kicked with the double amount, if you think about it. But I don't know, I have like a lot of mixed emotions when it comes to the announcement of special edition. On one hand, I'm happy that it's not coming to PC. On the other hand, I'm not happy that it's not coming to PC. On the other hand, I just don't give a fuck, and I'm running out of hands. I'm running out of hands. Seriously. It looks like they tweaked Virgil's moves in this special edition. Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking about that. Oh boy. The modded Virgil can be finally replaced with the official because Capcom said so. They've actually decided to use their brain, like 1/100th of their brain, and thought to themselves, hey, maybe people want playable Virgil, let's give them playable Virgil. Too bad that they didn't bother to actually think about gameplay tweaks, co-op, PvP, you know, the stuff that was already introduced with the PC version. What modders were capable of coming up with. Yep. New console generation right around the corner, and guess what? We are giving you DMC5 Special Edition with, and please bear with me on this one, with 4 new features. Legendary Dark Knight, Turbo Mode that should have been in the game from the fucking beginning, Playable Virgil, which I'm sure you're aware that Capcom, some people who actually dug the files probably know perfectly well that Virgil was already available in the game files. He just wasn't not finished. And also ray tracing, the main feature promoted by Matt Walker himself, that apparently doesn't even work consistently because it's gonna get disabled the moment you try to play Turbo Mode or LDK. And all of that for the beautiful price of $40. You know, I've got to say this is not actually a bad price considering the $70 price standard that Sony also announced, I think today, for PlayStation 5 titles. This is just mind-blowing. I'm happy. I'm just euphoric. Is that even a word? I don't even know. Honestly, 5 SE is very underwhelming. Also, I don't know, people who actually jump into my streams today probably will know that usually I'm not this alive, so thanks Capcom, I suppose. I'm more alive today, I'm more emotional. Your announcement, while it was underwhelming, it actually awoke a new side of me temporarily. I feel like a fucking idiot. Anyhow. I waste time on talk and I should be actually checking the stuff related to cheat table and stuff, you know, the stuff that was made by modders already throughout the course of 1.5 years, but Capcom didn't even bother to actually check what modders did, and they didn't actually think, hey, you know what, these guys are doing a good job. Maybe they know what's best for the game. Maybe we should implement it, like, for the next gen, this is a great opportunity. Introduce a co-op, PvP, that kind of stuff. But no, for new features. Yeah, fuck me sideways. It's just ridiculous. I feel heartbroken, to be honest. I'm checking Twitter right now. I checked the main website for the game. And I don't know what to think. This is just a waste. This feels like such a wasted opportunity. And I will also be checking chat on the way as well. Won't be staying too long because I need that 8 hours sleep. No problem, I understand. Maybe you could do some podcast later about 5 SE. I bet many of us have shared our opinions. Seriously, if anyone feels like expressing their opinion about DMC5, be it in chat or on Twitter, you can check my account on Twitter, because I actually made a tweet about the entire special edition thing, about how it's pretty much a shitstorm comparing to the previous releases. Even Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition and DMC Definitive Edition. If you have anything to express about the game, please feel free to do so, because currently I'm hyped backwards, to be honest. I hope the trailer didn't show anything. Considering today's standards, the trailers show everything. I mean, I remember someone actually, I don't know if this was on ChaserTech's Twitter, someone actually responded to him. He was talking about DMC5 Virgil's gameplay, and he said that he said something like DMC5 Virgil won't be the best iteration that Capcom has given us, comparing to, I don't know, be it DMC3 or DMC4 Virgil. And someone responded to him, Capcom only showed 2 minutes of gameplay. No need to rush, Nostradamus. And I'm just thinking, like, what in the bloody hell? Did you even watch, like, the trailers that came out at the release of the game, original game back in 2019? Like, before the release, they actually showed Virgil. They've spoiled the entire game. And in these days, 2 minutes is pretty much more than enough to show what the game is about. Because usually when the game comes out, people come up to the conclusions that are actually not far from the reality. I just crashed in this stream, honestly amazed to see that much DMC content in your channel. Well, to be honest, DMC content on my channel is both blessing and curse, because this is technically the thing that I started with, but on the other hand, this is the only thing that I'm able to stay with if I want to consider myself active. Like, if people visit my shit, it's usually because of DMC content. Sometimes I go sideways, sometimes I test out various stuff, other games, but this doesn't get as much traction. On the other hand, thanks for jumping in. Jesus fucking Christ, 36 people. It's literally today, it's like a shit fest. The announcement of DMC5 SE, it's just uniting people left, right, and center. I've seen Hitchhiker's stream, there were like 40 people there. Mills' stream, 40 people there. And I'm having 33 people, which is probably the highest possible count that I've ever had in my stream ever. In which case, thank you for that. Are you gonna update Flare Virgil at some point? Yeah, about that, about modding. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to do anything with modding for the time being. Not until I settle, not until I deal with my IRL stuff. Currently, I'm looking for a new job. It's not doing great, so until I deal with that, I don't think I will do too much with modding. Maybe some bits here and there, maybe Flare Virgil. But on the other hand, I'm not gonna do much today. Sorry if I disappointed. I think it's so. Let's see what do people have to say. I keep checking the chat. I keep talking like an idiot, and I should still check what I have available, what not. I gotta check if the camera mod is working. Proper legit photo mode. Reshade. I don't think I will be using reshade today. I don't want to put. I don't want to give my PC too much of a workout today. I know this was gonna happen since they didn't even plan on releasing this DLC anyways. I don't even want to know what kind of strategy Capcom had towards DMC5, but it just reeks of IDGAF syndrome, left, right, and center. Something just tells me that when it comes to Virgil, I have two available options to think about. One, either the game was rushed and Virgil wasn't finished by the release of the game, or Virgil got cut out from the game intentionally and was kept for the console hype. And I think the second option feels actually more accurate. Would you get mad if people still buy SE and have fun? Look, James, my problem is not with people buying Special Edition itself. Like, if you're gonna buy a new console, and if you're gonna get Special Edition, if you want to get Special Edition, by all means do so. If you don't have any regrets. The main concern that I have with Special Edition is that it's simply not worth it, especially with $40. I wouldn't get mad at people if they were to buy Special Edition. But on the other hand, I would like for people to simply stop and reconsider if Special Edition is worth buying in the first place for the new consoles. Because it's just lackluster. It's underwhelming. Because I already said it, but I'm gonna gather this up again. Capcom decided to announce Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition for $40. $40. You might expect a lot of shit for that kind of price. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition was released for $25. It featured 3 extra characters, including Virgil, which probably was DMC4 Special Edition. Virgil is the best iteration of Virgil in terms of gameplay we have so far. There's no bloody damn way that DMC5 is gonna top that. But back to the 4SE. 4SE for $25 had 3 extra characters, some more costumes. You can pass the missions using those characters. And this was for $25. The only thing that I didn't like was the graphical enhancements, but this comes from my own personal situation where I had at first when Devil May Cry 4 SE came out, I didn't have a proper PC that could actually handle it. This changed sometime later, so I'm 50-50 on this. I didn't like the graphical change, but on the other hand, I'm not gonna remain mad about it. DMC4 SE Virgil is perfect. I would actually wonder about that, considering the teleport that is linked to Summoned Swords. But other than that, it was the most fluent. It was the fastest Virgil that we had. There's no goddamn way DMC5 Virgil is gonna top that. If anything, DMC5 Virgil will feel closer to the reboot Virgil. Not like I'm saying it's a bad thing, because I like because I liked DMC Virgil myself. But on the other hand, it's gonna feel lackluster. Also, let's not forget the fact that Virgil will not have any extra weapons. He will have some extra stuff related to V, I bet, but we cannot expect much. It's gonna feel limiting comparing to what the previous games pulled off. I'm not even talking about DMC4 SE, but also DMC3 SE, the pain of the PC users. Not only the PC users, keep in mind that, as I already said this, old console players are also having their ass kicked in a double amount. They cannot even get turbo mode. LDK and ray tracing, I understand. This shit actually requires a lot more resources. Like, I can imagine if I was playing on my shitty PC with LDK mode, I would probably experience crashes one after another. Black Horde, Hitchhiker, we'll see about that. Who thinks Nightmare will replace Beowulf gauntlets? I don't even know if that's gonna be a thing, but I highly doubt it's gonna happen. If Virgil gets any extra weapons for DMC4 Special Edition, I'm gonna be seriously surprised, because it just doesn't make much sense story-wise. But then again, I could be wrong. There's still like not... It's still like too early to talk about stuff like that. All I can expect is that this upgrade to Special Edition is going to feel lackluster, if anything. Okay. Oh my god. I will probably stay a lot more in the chat rather than in actual gameplay. I don't even know how long I've been talking so far. 4 minutes. 4 minutes? No. Definitely not. More. Capcom is like this. They only made Virgil because they knew it was going to give them money. If it doesn't, they might not even lower the price, but just give up on special editions. Yeah, I think that was pretty much the tactic. The reason why Virgil got left out is because of console hype. I mean, look, DLC for the original version, I don't mind. $6. It feels like a good enough price. It feels a bit too high, but on the other hand, I'm not going to complain, because Virgil is going to come anyway. It's going to replace the modded Virgil, and then people responsible for the co-op hacks won't have to worry about him anymore, unless they decide to, I don't know, give him some tweaks after the DLC drops. If Virgil sells, I see Trish and Lady come as a separate paid DLC characters. That is if Capcom decides to do that. Currently, I don't even have much hope, considering how much of and I don't give a fuck syndrome Capcom has currently towards the DMC franchise. They just show it over and over and over again. I mean, one might actually think that after 3.5 million copies sold, after this game being called a success when it comes to sales, that Capcom would actually do something more about it. But no, one could actually hope for something close. I'm not saying exactly close. I'm not saying like exactly the same, but something close to the Resident Evil treatment. Give DMC some DLCs or something like that, some small packages. Resident Evil 2 got DLCs. I don't know if Resident Evil 3 got something. It probably got something. There is Resident Evil 8 in the fucking making. And DMC5 cannot even bother to get some sort of goddamn 4 functions. I want to quote fucking Angry Joe. 4 functions. 4 new functions. It's just fucking ridiculous. It feels underwhelming. Then again, this I'm not gonna be like overtly pessimistic. Maybe there will be some extra content for the special edition after release, but what's the goddamn point if it's gonna be restricted only for the new consoles? PC and all console players are gonna get Virgil DLC, that's pretty much it. Like, one could expect some gameplay tweaks. If they can go for a new character for old consoles, then they sure as hell they can do various gameplay tweaks. They could implement co-op properly, considering that cameo system works in the first place. It works without a problem. It works on PC, no problem. It works on my crappy PC that is way below low requirements for this game. They could go for the PvP, which is technically, I could be wrong, but it's like a co-op alteration. It adds like lock-on to the characters themselves, and you can actually deal damage to them. Capcom can do this shit, but the thing is, they won't. Why? Probably because this series is niche, or some other shit. I don't know. Give viewers a kickbox moveset. That would be neat, actually, if you think about it. I felt like there are new cutscenes. Knowing live, there will be probably new cutscene at the beginning and at the end of Virgil's campaign. Pretty much the same way as DMC4 Special Edition. Don't expect any new plot, don't expect any new missions. Maybe something for the end. I think that if I'm not wrong, I've seen on the SE trailer, Virgil was doing some sort of equivalent of Rainstorm in a cutscene. Like, I don't know. Also, the color palette or the contrast for the new cutscenes felt different than like the final scene, the final jackpot scene. There was something different. Like Dante and Virgil were fighting. It just feels weird. Like, I don't know. The largest community and DMC YouTubers are on PC and they do this to us. You know, at this point, I don't even care about the PC version, to be honest. As I said before, I'm actually mixed about all of this. I want to be happy, I want to be sad, and I want not to care at the same time. Because by the end of the day, we're only going to get Virgil DLC, and that's the only change that we're going to get. Other than that, I can safely assume that the exe file for the DMC5 is going to get changed so that it works with the Virgil DLC. So all the stuff related to the cheat table, to the co-op hack, will probably have to be rewritten or at least modified to work with the new exe. But other than that, it's not going to change much. Like the same shit that has been introduced by modders, by all the people that do gameplay alterations to this, they're gonna probably, not much is gonna change. And this is the part where I don't care. But on the other hand, I'm sad because PC doesn't get a proper treatment. It's just ridiculous. PCs can be superior even than the current consoles themselves, like the next gen, and they're being treated on the same level as old consoles. Maybe because of the equal release, I don't know, but it just feels lackluster. They could also give something for the consoles themselves. It just feels like one huge wasted opportunity. Next gen right around the corner, and surprise! 4 new features for $40. Yeah, go fuck yourself. $40 for LDK. I mean, I understand if LDK wasn't possible for the old consoles. Maybe they didn't have enough. Maybe they didn't have enough like power to handle LDK. So this one is understandable if it goes for the next gen. But ray tracing that doesn't even work consistently. One of the main features for $40 is a feature that doesn't even stay on consistently. It's gonna get disabled whenever someone decides to make the game for themselves harder and they go for turbo or LDK. And the best part is ray tracing works either at 4K 30 FPS. I'm starting to wonder how many people are gonna play on that setting, because I just refuse to play on DMC5 on lower than 40 FPS. I refuse. Lower than 40. 30 FPS is just gonna be like, for current standards, it's just unreal. 60 FPS, for me, it's like 45 FPS is minimum, but 60 FPS should be like objective standard. Didn't they say that PC players will get Virgil as DLC so you don't have to buy the game? Yeah, but that's pretty much it. You will only get DLC, no turbo, no LDK, and no ray tracing. This stuff will remain only for the new consoles only. DMC5 Special Edition pretty much went the same route as DMC Definitive Edition, but the difference is they introduce less new features than DMC 3DE, than DMC Reboot Definitive Edition for smaller price. And I don't even remember, I might as well check. I remember that DMC4 Special Edition was for $25 at the release. I remember that well. I remember that very well. And it gave what? 3 new characters. Legendary Dark Knight became normalized. It wasn't available on consoles for the vanilla game back when it released on PS3 and Xbox 360. Other than that, 3 new characters, new mode, Turbo became also normalized, I think. And also some new costumes for pretty much for all characters if you think about it. Virgil got Vante, Trish got like, I don't know, some X costume, Lady got DMC3 as well. And this was all for $25. And I'm like 50-50. DMC Definitive Edition got itself few new modes, gameplay tweaks, lock-on, hardcore mode, must style mode. I don't know about costumes, but I'm sure that it costed less than DMC 5 Special Edition. And DMC 5 Special Edition costs $40. It gives Ray Tracing 1, Virgil DLC, which is going to be available for the old releases as well 2, Turbo, which should have been in the game from the fucking beginning 3, and LDK, which is like the only feature that I find understandable for this release 4. That's it, for $40. If anyone's gonna buy this, it's just if anyone's gonna buy this, I mean, congratulations. I mean, it's technically your wallet, do whatever you want with it, but I'm just saying it's gonna be money thrown into the mud. Consoles themselves, like PS5, I think it was announced to be like $399, something like that. Xbox Series S was for $299 and Xbox Series X was for the $499. You can get PC for the same price of those consoles that can handle DMC5 and the modded content without no problems. And you can even get original release for $25. Plus, maybe even less if you think about sales or some third-party websites. If someone uses G2A or other shit like that, not like I recommend it or anything like that. But if someone searches well enough, you're gonna get yourself a better deal than what Capcom currently offers. My most disappointing thing about the Virgil release is that they didn't do like Ninja Theory's Virgil DLC, where he has his own separate story. Ninja Theory gave more care about their own game than Capcom does currently. They actually bothered to listen to the community. This was their strong side. I don't know if it still is, but it was when they were making DMC Devil May Cry. Say whatever you want about the reboot, it was actually a decent game. It had decent post content. I liked Virgil's Downfall. And I wish as hell that Definitive Edition was actually a thing on the PC, because I would like to play with the new functions. Must style and all the other stuff. How's the night going? As you can see, I'm fucking more alive than ever. So whether it's a good thing or not, I will leave this up to you. I'm irritated, I'm disappointed, and I feel like people are being treated like idiots and they don't even care. Like, look, I do understand hype for new consoles, new graphics, ray tracing, whatever, but at least make fucking sure that you're spending money on a product that is worth the money. That's pretty much it. That's all that I'm asking. Because I don't know about others, but if I had a chance to buy an upgrade to a product for $40 that features four features only, and maybe some sound improvements on the way, I would probably ask what the fuck is wrong with you. My most okay, I did read that. The largest community. If they add co-op and PvP playable offline, online, then Capcom can have my money. That's all that's needed. I already said it. Go to the Capcom, dear Matt Walker, anyone out there who actually checks internet from time to time. Go to the goddamn Nexus mods. You have new generation right around the corner. Utilize it. Go to the Nexus. Check what people have made. You will see what? You will see co-op. You will see PvP. You will see gameplay tweaks, cutscene skip. New costumes. What else? Turbo mode. Turbo mode was already a thing. And just say, hey, these guys have good ideas. Let's use it. Let's learn from these folks. Let's give people what they want. And then plaster the fucking $40. Not like this. Welcome to Flair's Angry Show. Oh, trust me, this kind of shit keeps up and I'm gonna start making angry rants on my own. It's just one disaster after another. Lately, I just keep seeing more and more ridiculous news. Lately, the world just keeps blowing my mind. I just think to myself, 2020 cannot be any worse. It cannot be any worse. And then I get hit like a fucking truck. I get hit like by a fucking truck. I'm sorry for the huge amount of swearing. I'm just saying, I'm way too alive. I might as well just give my throat a rest for a while and just what else is there? Overall, I might as well, folks, just give me a second because I might as well restart the game because I was making screenshots of like the latest cheat table. I'm not even sure if it's I'm not even sure if it's the latest anymore. It probably got patched because it had some bugs. I will just run the game with the older version of the cheat table that I use normally, and I will start playing whatever. I wasted like 20, 25, 30 minutes on talking. Might as well just shut up for a while. With our special guests, Flair Virgil and Crimson Anger. You know, this will sound kind of off topic, but if Capcom ever comes up with Devil May Cry 6, just give some company to Nero, daughter of Dante, or just give Dante some kind of kid. Grandchildren of Sparta. Or the replacement for the Son of Sparta difficulty, daughter of Dante. I've been thinking about that lately. And yet I haven't touched the game for a while. I'm way too busy with the IRL stuff, and it's like I wasn't even modding the game for the last week, which I just find infuriating. But on the other hand, I just keep focusing on other stuff. Quality over quantity. It will be DE all over again. Feels Batman. No, it's if you think about it, it's not like DE for the DMC, because Definitive Edition for DMC actually gave stuff that people asked for. And Capcom just slapped features that they didn't even bother to add at the release. LDK Turbo here and there. And fuck you, pay for it. Ninja Theory had more care for their own game, and for the consumer base. The fact that they even released Virgil's Downfall, like Virgil's playable character with his own small, but still decent story. I like the level designs in there. That's sequel material though. I always hoped that if they did story DLC for Virgil, it would continue from Dante and Virgil stuck in hell and Mundus is still alive, using Sparta as a host to come back. I don't know how about Mundus, like, seriously, Sons of Sparta at current point, DMC 5-wise, are at such a power level that they would probably wipe the floor with Mundus's ass, no problem. I probably didn't even properly announce this name. I'm terribly sorry about that, but at this point, I'm just... My mind has way too many thoughts to actually care about a proper pronunciation. Okay, again. Free camera tool, I don't think I will launch. I will have to find the cheat table. I think it was 1.14.62 version. I mean, would take over Sparta the demon, not the sword. Pfft. Yeah, good luck with that. That is if you make Capcom actually put Sparta into the game and not just treat him as some sort of legend from pictures and stuff. They would have to literally put Sparta into the game for this to happen. This was the Dark Angel. Flare tracing. Angel, what the hell are you on about? Like seriously, all that I did, I posted the picture of two of my mods, Flare Virgil and Crimson Inger, on Twitter, and all I did was just change the lighting, use Lidemi's rain mod, and put some reshade on, and that's it. You don't need much effort. Honestly, I want a more in-depth game of Lady and Trish. 4 Special Edition was fun, but I want more weapons and moves for Lady. Lady's gameplay overall felt weird. Like, it had priorities completely differently. Gunplay was cool, but melee attacks was just meh. One would think that for a girl with her agility, you might actually expect some proper ass kicking and not just like slow rocket launcher slashing with the bayonet slashing. I mean something tells me that even Pinnacle of Combat had like faster combat for a lady, or so I saw from the videos themselves. I'm late at the party, but so what are your thoughts about DMC5 Special Edition announcement? Just rewind to my I'm sure that you can rewind the stream. Just rewind to like 10 or 15 minutes. Rewind 10 or 15 minutes backwards and you're gonna see my opinion on this. But in TLDR version, I am heartbroken. I think that's the best term. That's the term that suits me the best, I think. I'm heartbroken. Because Capcom showed yet again that they don't want to put any care whatsoever, like actual care, for the DMC franchise. The only reason why Special Edition is a thing is because of new consoles. That's pretty much it. If there were no consoles, we probably wouldn't see Special Edition. That's pretty much it. And even as the Special Edition is a thing, it just feels lackluster and not worth $40, not at all. Unless Capcom decides to put some extra content after release of Special Edition. I don't know, I've seen video of Matt Walker saying that they're gonna introduce more content. Then he mentioned LDK, which is already a part of Special Edition, and I'm not sure whether he meant that they're going to make more content for DMC5 after Special Edition release, or this is the like overall content that is going to be included in Special Edition release, and that's it, no more. Something tells me that the latter scenario is going to be like the correct one. Weird Black Knight followed you. Do I have 500 followers already? 498. I'm just close. Not like I care, but recently I've been checking Twitter followers for whatever reason, and I'm just waiting. Just hit that 500 already, and let's be done with this. $40 for 4 features. So let me guess, $10 for every feature. 10, maybe $20 for ray tracing. No, I've got to do the math properly. 5555. $25 for ray tracing, and then $5 for every like mode: turbo, LDK, and playable Virgil. Ray tracing doesn't even, the fact that they put ray tracing and it doesn't even work if you try to go for the harder difficulty. Ray tracing doesn't work with the someone stated this already. I'm gonna check on Twitter for the actual where was this? Someone mentioned this. Someone put a quote of this. I just have to find it. Okay, never mind that. I'm not gonna search for it. But the thing is, one of the main features of this $40 release is gonna become obsolete the moment someone tries to go for the harder difficulty. If someone tries to play on turbo, if someone tries out LDK, it doesn't matter what kind of setup you're going to use, ray tracing is gonna get disabled. Also during the high frame rate mode, but high frame rate mode for 120 FPS doesn't have ray tracing at all active. I'm just glad DMC isn't forgot about. DMC, I don't think it was ever forgot about, but the problem is developers themselves don't even bother to see that people want to keep this franchise alive by all fucking means necessary. The thing is that we're just not being seen properly. And if someone actually does a proper effort, it usually falls on deaf ears. Be it by developers or by the main places like, I don't know, DMC subreddit. I completely have no faith for this place when it comes to post-release content and keeping the game alive, increasing its longevity. Did I say that right? Probably not. Ray tracing without DLSS is worthless at the moment. Yeah, honestly, I think that ray tracing itself is a technology that I mean, it's like every new technology. It starts off small. We don't current technology doesn't have like capacity for this kind of rendering, and it's gonna take like maybe I want to say few months, but maybe few years before this actually becomes a normalized thing. But it's just pointless currently. What's the point of putting such a huge price for a feature that doesn't even stay on consistently? I mean, when I found out in this quote, someone made an article on this. I think this was from Interview. Ray tracing is gonna work at 4K 30 FPS, which in which case good luck to anyone who actually plays on that setting, because I personally think that 30 FPS for Devil May Cry is just unplayable. That's just my opinion. If someone is gonna play on this setting, then good luck. 1080p for 60 FPS and no limitation mode for 120. But if you play on 120, then ray tracing gets disabled. But the thing is, it doesn't matter, because if someone goes for LDK, and if someone stays with the game longer, they are bound to change the difficulty mode, right? Or play something harder. That ray tracing is going to become obsolete. And it's one of the key features for a release that's $40. I'm going to keep saying that outright. If you buy this, if you are aiming for the next gen console and you buy this for $40, then congratulations on good management for your wallet. Like, I'm not supposed to say how people should spend their money, but by all means, I can call you an idiot if you decide to go for it. Like, I'm the person myself that cannot afford to spend too much money on video games. I'm not rich. I'm poor. Like, I cannot afford much money. If I can, if I can spend money, if I can spend $60 on the game, it's, I don't know, once a month, 2 times maybe. Usually I get the games from sales. So I just arrived. Who's gonna be the hero who mods in LDK and Turbo Mode until Capcom does it themselves? For all consoles, there is no hope. I mean, old console owners are gonna have their ass kicked if they do not transition to the new consoles. Turbo Mode is already a thing for Science Cheat Table, and as far as I'm aware, LDK is in the works by Hitchhiker and Dr. Penguin. And as far as I'm aware, these guys are doing decent job, and we can expect release for this whenever, soon, at trademark at the end, Ultra Kill style. If you have the original and then buy it, then yeah, sure, that's dumb. I mean, I don't even have a problem with the fact that people would actually want to buy special edition. My main problem, I think, is that it's overpriced. It's overpriced. Then again, I'm not surprised considering the fact that, as I said, PlayStation titles for PS5 are gonna cost $70 at launch, which is already an insult. So my guess is that Capcom is gonna probably use all the console hype, all the ray tracing to generate as much, to milk as much money from this as possible. Which is gonna mod the SE features in LMAO, which is gonna mod the SE features in LMAO PC Master Race. But here's the thing: half of the stuff introduced by Special Edition was already available on PC. Turbo Mode is a thing. It was a thing like few weeks or months after the original game got released. Not to mention, the latest iterations of Turbo Mode in Science Cheat Table allowed the customizable Turbo Mode, meaning that you don't have to play at 1.2, which is a default turbo speed. You can go for 1.1, 1.3, 1.4 is the max currently, or you can even decrease the game speed if you want to 0.6, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's 0.6. Playable Virgil, people responsible for co-op hack have started working on Playable Virgil from whatever kind of game files they were able to find in the original game. By all means, it's not official. The modded Virgil doesn't work properly, but people busted their asses off, as far as I'm aware. People responsible for Playable Virgil for co-op hack busted their asses off in order to add as many improvements as possible. It was already a thing. Now it's gonna be replaced by official DLC. LDK, even if it's not a thing yet, it's bound to be a thing at one point or another. There were already people out there who were trying to make like false LDK mods by replacing projectiles, for example. Like if you have a Hellbat and he's shooting that, I don't know, lava shot or something like that, that lava shot could be actually replaced with enemies. So you could spawn enemies. But the thing is, there are already people working on the spawn points and the frequency on the enemies, so that those can be modified instead. Just like how normal LDK would be made. The only feature that cannot be implemented in the special edition is pretty much ray tracing. But now the question is, how many people are going to care about the ray tracing? How many people are going to play with it? If it's going to bring that much difference, like, sure, maybe the lighting will be different. Maybe you will be able to see Nero in mirror, or you can see the reflection on the glass. That's cool, but by the end of the game, this is probably not why people buy the game. There were also talks about some improvements to the sound design. I'm assuming that's in reference to that. It's in reference to that state of play presentation where the representative of PlayStation was actually talking about improvements to the graphics, to the sound design, about how accurate it's supposed to be. But honestly, graphics, sound design, it was already good in original release. So I wonder how many people are going to actually bother themselves with pushing graphics to the maximum. Not to mention that push to the maximum, this ray tracing, it's not even it's not like it won't stay on. You will have to disable it at some points. So how much do you think it should cost then? You know what? I wouldn't mind if this costed on the same level as, I don't know, maybe DMC4 Special Edition, $25. Although, considering the amount of features, it's just... Upgrades should work like 20 maybe. 20, 25 maximum. That's the opinion that I have. But other than that, it's just... $40 is just too much. Especially with this amount of lack of content. You're getting 4 new features for $40. And most of this stuff is the content that should have been in the game from the beginning. Half of this content, extra content. Virgil and Turbo could be already part of the old console, something tells me. Ray tracing and LDK probably need more power from the hardware, so those two are understandable. LDK is probably the only thing that I can forgive. Ray tracing, I don't really give a shit about. It's still a young technology that current hardware cannot handle, and as long as the consoles don't evolve, there is no way to talk about the proper usage of this technology to make sure that it stays fluent and consistent, so that it becomes like a norm. Virgil should have been in the game as well. This was proven by the people who actually bothered to dig through the original files of the game. There were plenty of informations about playable Virgil. You could access him through the cheat table. Later he got modified through co-op hack. Seriously, props to Dante and Razor for actually pulling this kind of shit off. You know, honestly, I believe that if Capcom waited like 1 year, and if they thought maybe it's better to put more content, to actually put something new and revolutionary to the DMC gameplay, put in co-op, put in PvP, add some more costumes, like make post content for this game. People ask for it. Give it a year, then put $40. People would buy it. People would buy it no problem, and it would probably be a fair price if they just listened to the community and gave them what they want. The full price crap is for the PS5 version. PS4 and Xbox get Virgil and the new modes, I think, as DLC. No. Old consoles and PC only get Virgil and whatever comes with him, be it cutscenes, gameplay, costumes maybe as well. But Turbo, LDK and Ray Tracing are part of console of the next gen only. It's the same approach as DMCDE, like definitive edition for the reboot. The only difference is you get less for higher price. Slow clap. I've talked way too much. Like, I just start feeling like a broken record. Probably that's the case. Is the game on the screen? Yeah, it is on the screen. I'm not gonna bother with the music right now. I'm just gonna put the default soundtrack. I don't want to waste any more time on searching for songs. Might as well just play whatever. I'm gonna play on the SOS, so I might as well... No, I have enemy damage multiplier. Cool. Only add turbo mode. Yep. I mean, even turbo mode would work. I am pretty sure that consoles would handle it, like the old consoles, PS4, Xbox One. I'm sure that they would handle it, at least that, like the latest iterations. So after that talk, are you gonna buy DLC? Of course. I mean, it's like $6. $5 or $6. It's gonna be worth it. I mean, Virgil is official. Like, is that not enough of a reason to buy it? I want Lucia, Trish, and Lady as DLC just like Virgil. Lucia is pretty much abandoned, and Trish and Lady, considering how they were handled in like the main game in the first place. I mean, honestly, Lady and Trish got treated as fan service. That's pretty much it. They were both shown naked, and they didn't have like huge significance to the story. So I don't think they're gonna add too much. I mean, people can ask for playable characters, so on and so forth, but first things and foremost, just look at Capcom handles this franchise. They don't. Whenever DMC is mentioned, it's only at the moment where there is a chance for money. This franchise is niche, will remain niche no matter how many people are gonna like it. This will be a series that will probably forever stay in the shadow of Resident Evil. Resident Evil gets everything, like DLCs, proper content. I mean, Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, Resident Evil 8 Village. 3 fucking games came out. 3 games. 2 already came out. 1 is about to come out for the next gen. DMC5 didn't get jack shit. The only thing that they got, the only thing that DMC5 got was Bloody Palace, which wasn't even like a legit mode. Like the update for the Bloody Palace pretty much unlocked it, but the Bloody Palace itself was already in the game files. So they didn't release a full patch for the mode. They pretty much released unlocker for it. And now Virgil DLC comes, and that's pretty much it. You cannot expect much more from Capcom, which is really like, it's saddening. I'm saying this is the reason why I think heartbroken is the best word that is capable of describing how I feel with all of this crap. I mean, sure, I feel more alive. I mean, I'm enthusiastic about how crap this upgrade is. But other than that, it's just another wasted opportunity. Just like co-op for the DMC, there were materials from the data mines that suggested divergence mode, which probably was ability to use all characters for all missions. This wasn't implemented, co-op wasn't implemented, co-op in Bloody Palace wasn't implemented. A lot of wasted chances, and Special Edition is just another one of those cases. Because Capcom doesn't care. They don't. They released good fundamentals with DMC5, and for this I adore them. But on the other hand, I fucking hate how they handle this franchise. This series desperately needs post-content, be it playable characters, gameplay tweaks, some new modes, so that I am aware that this series is supposed to be a single-player experience, but co-op, PvP, I played so much of this shit. It would be addicting if it was made official. And it's just devastating that it will never become a thing officially. been a while since I played, so I'm sorry about the gameplay. It's gonna look a bit mediocre. I still have to remember what kind of settings I've been using. I've been fooling around with strive, with slow motion. Oh boy. I love the Crimson mod, but are you bringing back Flare Dante? You know, I switched back. Last time I was switching back and forth. Whenever I get free time and some sort of motivation, I will come back to Flare Dante. I still have to update it with some new stuff. I've had few ideas in my head for a few patches, some fixes here and there, some stuff that I forgot about. And also, I think Trevor mentioned Flare Virgil. I was actually thinking about making some effects for him, but before that happens, I don't know how much time is gonna pass. Like, I'm really in a tough spot. As I said, I'm trying to find work. It doesn't go well. Until I get this shit settled, like, I'm not in a mental state to mod properly. So yeah, I have plans, but it's just... it's hard to tell when they're gonna become a thing. DMC3 Switch co-op OP is fun. Yeah. You can bet. I mean, DMC with co-op overall would be fun. I mean, the goddamn Arkham fight in DMC3 shows that alone. Doppelganger style itself. I remember there was a thing with the gamepads. If player 1 used Doppelganger, then player 2 could control like the actual shadow. That was a cool concept back then. DMC4. Dante's battle alone showed that PvP in DMC, while it would be completely not impossible to balance, it would be one hell of a addicting thing. And then DMC5 cameo system, which was used for co-op for one mission. Why not for all though? And now we're at the spot where modders were able to make some sort of form for all, for co-op, for PvP. And you mean to tell me that Capcom cannot do the same? You know, I find it overall I find it insulting that Capcom released a special edition that has less features than what modders were capable of coming up with. And it just feels insulting. Again, if anyone follows my Twitter, today I made a tweet with the showcase of all the tweaks and mods that all the gameplay mods that Cyan, Dante, Razor, Hitchhiker were able to come up with. This was over the course of 1.5 years as this game was out. And Capcom charges $40 for 3 features and graphical enhancement that is not even permanent. So GG. Flare Dante was like the first thing he made. Yeah, Flare Dante for DMC5 was the first thing, then Flare Nero came up. My brother and I play it together. Lucky bastards. Me and Amazing just killing each other in PvP was pretty fun. I've got to find some proper time for a PvP. I don't know, maybe on Discord. I will ask someone to do some small session for the recording. Maybe some movie, I don't know. I've got to get back to this shit. I want to get back. But it's just not gonna happen. Sop. Oh my god, get the hell out of here. No AoEs. Come on. And bitch. Can you mod character voices? No. Sucks because Matt especially is an awesome dude. He doesn't criticism. Feel free to ask. I'm not great at it since I don't play much. You know, when it comes to PvP and co-op, I don't judge. People play however they want. I mean, I don't consider myself a great player, and honestly, I don't even care. And PvP overall is like a shitstorm where most of the time I just don't have any idea what's going on. If I hit something, it's by luck. That's usually because of latency. And I wish PvP was actually more known. But the thing is, it doesn't work that way. Capcom had the nickname Crapcom for a while for a reason, but why would a finite company be able to compete with a virtually infinite number of mods and modders? When has any AAA studio been able to achieve such a feat without hindering modders prior? When Capcom was fun like they used to before. Why are you disappointed? Because the upgrade is overpriced. That's the shortest version that I can come up with. Special edition is overpriced, and the only reason why is because of hype for consoles. There is no other explanation I can think of. Bloody hell. Ah, this was such a perfect moment. I could actually launch soundtrack from Prince of Persia Warrior Within. With the recent announcement of Sands of Time remake, I just started replaying all the Prince of Persia games. I played Warrior Within, I listened to that soundtrack again, it's bloody damn awesome. Ah, the old memories. And again, I just don't feel like setting up. Would you mind? Thank you. Some more then. Let me just... Okay, bye-bye. I just royal guarded amazes half the time when we fought. You know, royal guarding in PvP feels unusually like satisfying. I tried it a few times when who was around? I've been playing with Vanius, I think. I was playing as Dante, he was playing as Nero. And two moments that I liked was when Vayne was actually using Rawhide on me. I don't know, it felt fun. Having Rawhide. And the other thing was when I actually deflected one of his attacks with Royal Release. It felt strangely satisfying, but it was pretty much by luck. There's the Ecuador. Someone from Ecuador? Hi from Poland, I guess. Virgil's most powerful upgrade was the unlocking of dad jokes minutes after he learned he had a son. It's past your bedtime. It's all hype for consoles. Thank God some people realize it. Like, dude, I don't have consoles myself, but I'm not... I mean, I have glasses and I'm not blind yet enough to actually see where's the biggest traction for gaming. I mean, next gen, ray tracing, all this stuff is right around the corner. Traction means money. And that's what most companies are all about, unfortunately. You can't exterminate corporate greed. I forgot about the voice chain, about disabling voice volume. Oh great, I failed. Failed release. Oh, thank you. And now... Really? Bruh, just in the last moment. Get this crap out of here. There you go.
Your voice is so annoying. How about I shut you up?
Too close. I cannot handle this charge at close range. Oh, but this I can... Yeah, how I was able to do it twice. That's unusual for my playstyle. How many times are you gonna fall again? I have exceptionally good timing today, which is weird. Oh gosh. Drop that already. It's funny how Artemis is one of my least favorite fights, and yet I think I keep replaying it the most. And goodbye. All games with ray tracing in console has an option to turn it off. Ray tracing is so bruh. You caught them just in time, nice. I feel like current technology is just way too young for ray tracing. Like, it's not there yet. Like, cool, it's being implemented. I mean, I can see the potential. It looks really great, but it's just not there yet. Not that level yet. V, of course. I just remembered that section from the special edition trailer where Virgil separates himself to execute like super attack from V. Like V comes out and uses like special attack in the air, like some sort of super attack, which ironically uses the same animation that people found in the original game's files. Cut content. Brought to you by Special Edition. LDK is Son of Sparta difficulty. Yeah, but it's literally filled with a lot of demons. I mean, I cannot imagine Legendary Dark Knight being on Dante Must Die, especially in DMC5 when Devil Trigger just kicks in way too early for some enemies. Imagine having like 10 or 15 rages, those lizard demons, and imagine dealing with all of them at DMD when they activate their Devil Trigger, usually at the start of the fight. Sometimes after you attack them. And again, that's just my feeling, like, I'm not exactly sure. I could try DMD, to be honest. DMD plus LDK is overkill. And yet I've seen some people actually try it out. Like, I've seen some combo players going to this extent. I even remember some people from times of DMC4, they tried to go for the LDK and God Must Die difficulty, which was like a difficulty level made by someone in the trainer, in the trainer, I think. Enemies were practically unkillable then. How would you take out so many Furies? I don't know. I would need like freaking if that was possible, I would probably spam Quicksilver with super character. I mean, that's like one of very few options that I would see in a fight like this. Damn it. Because of all this talk, my throat hurts now. It doesn't feel great. Hmm. This is gonna be a bad choice, but I want to see how far I can go. Definitely gonna check that out. Mission 7 is gonna be nuts on LDK. Depends on what kind of enemies Capcom is going to set up there. I mean, I've seen in Mission 12, I think. I would have to watch the trailer again. I don't know if anyone wants me to actually check the trailer again, do some small analysis, by all means, feel free to do so, but the way I see it, I think I've done enough of talking for one stream. I would still have to check the trailer, because there are still some things that I want to like make sure of. And now they'll let me play. Man, it's been a while since I actually played. I miss that. Like, the only reason why I'm playing right now is because of the announcement. I've got to stop thinking about it, at least for a while. Like today, I've spent few hours checking few hours of my free time checking Twitter, streams that people made. I think I visited Hitchhiker and Mills, and people just keep talking about how lackluster special edition feels, what would they actually want. I've seen plenty of people asking for Ladies DLC, for Virgil to have new weapons, some story. And I was just reading this and I thought to myself, this shit will never get old. Sad and painful truth. 36 people, like, seriously, the amount of people that I have on stream currently is just insane. To anyone out there who is actually watching this, thanks a lot for jumping in, but this is pretty much like people gathering. This was just by luck. I think this is like the highest amount of people I've had on my stream, so thanks to anyone who decided to visit. Even if it was for a while, and even if it was me pretty much ranting about what happened today. That was close. Had I initiated that round trip a bit later, I would probably get hit. Oh shit. Jesus, at what kind of speed I'm playing today? 1.3. Man, I have way too I have, like, seriously, good timing for RG today. I'm gonna say no more until TGS, to be honest. If they don't show anything else at TGS, then I don't think there's much hope for the MC5. You might as well be better off waiting for a new game. But when that happens, I don't even want to wonder. Bingo. Many people are complaining about the PC. Do you think that in the end they will change their opinion? You know, this whole thing feels like a wasted opportunity yet again, so no, I don't think people are going to change their minds too much. I mean, look, if next gen allows for upgrades for DMC5, by all means do those upgrades, but do something more than just 4 things. And if you be so kind, don't charge 4 things for $40 fucking dollars. It just feels like the whole special edition just feels like a quick cash grab. Like, sure, maybe there's ray tracing, maybe improvements to the sound, but what about textures? What about texture resolution, particles? I can safely bet that those things are gonna remain the same. I just think that special edition is not worth $40. It offers it doesn't offer much for that kind of price. Might as well do this quick because this part of the mission tends to be a lag fest. I really don't want to bother myself too much with it. I'm gonna get hit. There you go. Dragon Sword, hey, by the way, nice to see you. Thanks for making that video on the redhead. I actually saw it. I don't know if you're aware, but I've actually put that video into showcase videos on the Nexus. I mean, I think I did that for most of the videos. From Nilo47 Angelo, I think I put your video as well. So thanks. Oh, come on. And I lost it. And I was doing so well in mission 3. Oh. Standard stinger after knockback. I don't think I will ever unlearn this. I keep using bad habits one after another. Would you mind? Choice. I would just wasted some Devil Trigger. I'd like to play a co-op game with you, Flare Virgil 2B and Crimson Anger Ladies Night Out game. That would be fun. Just wait until Virgil comes out. Then, if Dante and Razor update the co-op hack, then maybe we can talk. Isn't it true that SE isn't coming to PC? Yes, Special Edition doesn't come to PC. PC and old consoles only get Virgil DLC. But other stuff like Turbo, LDK, and Ray Tracing are not gonna come. Those are like next gen exclusives only. Which kind of feels weird because I can understand old consoles not being able to handle ray tracing, for example, but PC could probably do it, I bet. Then again, there's the case of there's the case for the players who use old consoles that they pretty much don't get any extra content. PC players have mods. New consoles get ray tracing treatment, and there's nothing that can... I don't think there's anything that can be done for the old console players. Maybe Turbo, at best. And Virgil, which is something that is gonna come for the old consoles. But other than that... There's just so many emotions and questions about this whole upgrade thing at the same time. Come on. Just Just let me get to the Angelos already. How does the reshade look in here? And now give me a question, and now answer me, what would you need ray tracing for when all you need is just some simple color boost? At the cost of frame rates, of course, but I'm sure people who have better PCs than me and play this game probably would benefit more from this rather than ray tracing. And there we go, now we're talking. This one rage already has DT active. Now imagine playing that with LDK. You're dead within 5 seconds, if not longer. No, shit. No, it already turns into shit fest. There we go. I really don't know what to do. Come on, get out. There are 5 of those assholes. I mean, I can use SDT on them, just like now, but how about Nero and V? Jeez. The left. I would gladly buy it at full price if they really added co-op, the ability to play every level with every character and the playable Lady Trish. I couldn't care less about ray tracing. So is Crimson Dante's daughter or sister? Crimson Anger overall is a mod that... This was an idea, like one of my random ideas for a mod carried over from DMC4. My answer to whatever questions about this mod is take it however you want. You can call this mod Daughter of Dante. Officially it's not Daughter of Dante, but if you want to treat it that way, feel free. Could be Dante's sister, although that doesn't really make much sense in my head. This mod pretty much exists because I like kick-ass redhead gals. That's pretty much it. I mean, I have Sorceress in Black Desert Online that is pretty much a redhead and uses like attacks with black and purple energy. That's a nice combo. Mod inspired by some of the fan fictions that I wrote when I was younger. Just some random shit. Flair's girlfriend. Not exactly girlfriend. It could be girlfriend. Could be sister in arm. Or it could be the same relationship as Dante has with Lady. Or something completely else, I don't know. You have headcanons, fan fictions. Use that however you want. We all have imaginations. rest. You just had to screw it up. Whoa, that was completely by luck. Just how I'm your student. Dude, Rose, you're at the stage where you're no longer my student. If that's how you want to call it, like, I don't know. I mean, you did learn, I mean, I did teach you modding and stuff, but at this point I just feel like you are your own modder. I've seen the stuff that you made for DMC4 Special Edition recently. I saw those pictures you posted on Twitter. I even dare to say that the student might as well exceed the master in this particular case. Like, mostly my mods are just recolors. I may have knowledge how to modify stuff, but I lack in terms of creativity. Just drop dead already. This time, asshole. Whoa, that was... Jesus, I hate using Royal Guard against him. And this is the reason why I hate it. Okay, quick Luce and we're out of here. Down and out. We're still going? Now I'm just fooling around pretty much. LDK mode looks fun, but I'm not those super game... But I'm not into those super game breaking combo math YouTubers. Oh. You know, LDK is fun overall, and like video sorceress, I see you're a man of culture as well. You know, the main reason why I liked sorceress class in BDO was because of her attacks, and also because of the fact that she uses scythe. It's one of the few classes in BDO that I actually consider like decently looking. I want to try getting into modding, but I'm not sure where to start. I know I've been wanting to make a RE6 character mod for a while though. DMD detected. Yeah. You know, modding itself, who wrote this? Biomech. Modding itself is not really hard per se. I mean, if people find out the methods how to mod and then you learn them, it's not really that hard by the nature itself. The main problem is it's time consuming. What I can suggest to you is just get yourself, if you plan on doing DMC modding, maybe Resident Evil modding as well, since Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 remake, DMC5. They are all using the RE engine, so they pretty much use the same tools. You would have to get yourself something for image editing, a hex editor, what else? Fluffy Manager for mod installing, and you would have to learn the game's structure. The game's structure. What I mean by that is learning folders, where everything is placed, the models, the textures, so on and so forth. I've got like basic DMC5 modding tutorial. I made like basic video back in the past. You can find it on my channel. If you're interested, you can always give it a shot. Although I think it's kind of outdated. It has some outdated links. Fluffy Manager got updated. But the procedure for texture, for texture recoloring, which is something that I did there, is still pretty much the same. So I don't know, if you're interested, you can always give it a shot. Model editing, I'm not experienced in that area. You'd have to ask someone else. You can also join the Infernal Works Discord or the forum itself. Maybe I'll post links somewhere on the way. But then again, if you're planning on Resident Evil modding, then you would have to be more specific about what you want to do. Like, I don't know, what's your objective right now? I got to check what kind of stuff I have active for the Bloody Palace, because I can barely remember. I'm gonna use X color for a while. Do I have that BP modified or... And I keep forgetting about other thing, something that Mecha Mike actually mentioned. Like, DMC5 Special Edition is gonna have all the content included from the Deluxe Edition. Cavalier R, extra Devil Breakers costumes. But now the question is this stuff will be finally usable in Special Edition without any restrictions or leaderboards bullshit? Because if the answer is no, then Capcom didn't learn jack shit. I say start with textures, then hit model swapping, then MDF. You know, I think the biggest, like, for a beginner, if you want to start modding, the most problematic stuff will probably be the gamepad is not working. Thank you. The most problematic stuff to handle will be either model editing or effect editing, like recoloring stuff. Those two things are the most time consuming. But yeah, as Rosa says, if you want to go for modding, usually the first step is to modify textures. MDF files for RE engine are for changing, mainly for changing glows. Like for example, if you have Devil Trigger, you can modify the yellow orange glow on the chest through MDF files. You can also make custom paths for the textures through MDF editing. Like, if you don't want for the textures to be in the original spot, you can always modify the MDF files to make custom texture, like custom texture paths. It helps to keep things organized. My English is getting bad. Effect editing is probably the most time-consuming one because you will just keep changing hexadecimal codes in the editor. It's like Change a code, repeat. Change a code, repeat. Change a code, repeat. Change a code, repeat. Repeat. And it just keeps going on like that for like 100, 200 files. I mean, the effects for the red head that I made right here, all the red stuff, be it for swords, for the lighting orbs, for the ice shards, for the flames, it took me like 1 month to make. And I'm not even kidding. Like 1 month of whatever free time I had back then. I think Virgil's summon swords in DMC5 SE look similar to the reboot ones. What I did notice about overall like presentation of Virgil, of playable Virgil for Special Edition, is that they did something to the effects. I feel like they have different color. Like Virgil during his final boss fight had pure focus on blue, and now the effects go slightly towards green. Like towards green, like what was the color named? Teal? Something like that. I have a doubt Virgil will only have Yamato. It does not sound somewhat limited comparing to DMC3, DMC4 and DMC Devil May Cry. You know, DMC3 and DMC4 had Beowulf and Force Edge on the way, so story-wise I think DMC5 Virgil will not have any extra weapons. That's just my speculation. If anything, maybe he will have some extra moves, maybe some V-related stuff. As for the reboot Virgil, what I liked about his playstyle is that he had different sets of combos for his Angel and Demon mode. And he had a lot bigger moveset for a single weapon alone than Virgil had in DMC 3 and 4. And I wish that Capcom could actually introduce some new moves for Yamato for DMC 5 Virgil. But then again, it's just wishing and dreams. And some dreams shall remain dreams. Overall, I think I would have to like repeat DMC Devil May Cry, especially the Virgil DLC, because I liked, as I said, I liked his combat a lot. I've got to check one thing if it works. I'm gonna break the game with this, no doubt. But I never actually bothered to try it. I mean, I think I tried it once, but man, only works when grounded. On the ground, I mean. Only like moves assigned to triggers work for this. Too bad. Back in red. Wait, what are we... I'll give DMC5 Recolors a shot. You know, feel free. If you want to go for DMC5 modding, just watch my tutorial. It's gonna be it doesn't offer much. As I said, in that tutorial I only covered like unpacking game files and editing textures and how the overall mod structure is going to look like. If you decide to create a mod pack of your own, but it's gonna be a good start, like for you to get the hang of how the modding for the RE engine at least works. Well, it will be sure a fun experience, I bet. I mean, learning this stuff was fun for me. I wish I was more creative with this, but the fact that you even change something within the game to your liking, it's fun. That will be very limiting. Virgil looked like he was controlling V like a puppet, to be honest, in that clip where Virgil stabs himself. I get the feeling that V super attack that was visible on the trailer will be like one of the few moves related to V. Maybe, and now that I think about it, maybe that V attack for Virgil will be the equivalent of, will be like a counterbalance for Dante's Judgment for Sin Devil Trigger. Because if you think about it, both moves work probably in the same manner. Like, I don't know if I will be able to no, I will have to. I wonder if I will be able to disable Strife with this. I have to disable Strife. Something tells me that the game is gonna crash. I will need to disable Strife and also... yeah, the game crashed. The game crashed, the sound got cut off. Don't do this to me. Yeah, it's gone. Yep, Devil May Cry 5.exe stopped working. You know, now that I think about it, this is a good moment to actually... Might as well switch to desktop, and I need to watch this trailer again because I just need to check some stuff. Okay, I'm gonna close the cheat table. I'm gonna close the co-op hack, although before the PC sobers up, it's gonna take a minute. And I'm gonna switch to the desktop. And I want to see this trailer. I want to see this trailer again, just to be sure. Or Virgil stabbing himself and V unleashing all hell is like Virgil's Sin Devil Trigger. Maybe this is some sort of similar move to Dante's Judgment move, like the final sword swinging move for Sin Devil Trigger that exhausts all the Sin Devil Trigger bar. There was another clip where V plunged his sword into the demon, but instead using his cane, he used Virgil's summon swords. A lot of questions, not too many answers. Maybe people are right. Maybe it's better to just wait for the TGS. I mean, I'm not too I cannot be too optimistic already, considering the amount of upgrades Special Edition brings, which is just underwhelming. But I don't know. Maybe there will be something more shown at the at TGS. I've got to check when the dates are, if I will be even able to watch it. Cypher, no special edition for PC version of DMC5. The only thing that PC players and the old console players are going to get is Virgil DLC for $5 or $6. I still have to check. I'm sad there is no Beowulf. There won't be any Beowulf, there won't be Force Edge. If Capcom doesn't compensate the amount of moves that you can execute with Virgil and DMC 3 and 4, then by all means DMC 5 is going to feel very limited in the in 5. Virgil's theme song sounds pretty good. It you know, I'm gonna get crucified for this probably. Okay, I think PC sobered up a bit, so I might as well just hurry up, and co-op hack I can close already. I just need to prepare the desktop for the work. I keep disabling that image that I made for... There you go. Now I can actually use it. I mean, I don't want the screen to be black all the time. So sometimes I make wallpapers like that if someone's not aware. And I guess it still needs a while. About Virgil's theme song. You know, I'm gonna get crucified for this, but I think that honestly, Virgil's theme song in DMC5 is probably the softest battle theme out of all characters. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing right away, but I expected something a bit, I don't know, a bit heavier, harder. Like, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't sound bad. I like it. I genuinely like it, and I'm gonna wait until Monday, and until it comes out. But I expected something heavier. Like, it has clean vocals. There's something with the mixing. Like, it just feels way too soft in some areas, more rock than joyful, something like that. I'm like 50-50 on this. I'm torn between it. Can I already? Please, dear PC, don't die on me. You've been doing such a great job for a few years now. You can play all the DMC with all the mods. Don't die on me just yet. Okay, foobar I can close. I didn't even use foobar at all today. Why did I even launch it? The duel, or is it a new song? No, there's a new. If you actually watched, I don't know if you watched the trailer, the new trailer for Special Edition already, but there is a new battle theme. Bury the Light, I think, was the name, and it's made by Cassie Edwards, the same musician who made Devil Trigger. And I don't know, I'm just torn when it comes to this theme. It feels way too soft, at least for my taste. I'm not saying it's a bad song, but there's something off about it. Come on. I'm just like 2 steps away from switching to desktop view. I'm gonna quickly check the trailer and maybe do some small analysis if people are interested. It sounds smooth and you still feel power in it. Yeah, it's there's something about this theme. I cannot pinpoint what it is exactly. I like it and it bugs me at the same time. It just feels unusual. I mean, it could be because I'm used to the alt tracks by Shooty HG back in times of DMC3 and DMC4. Maybe it's that. Like, I cannot get used to this theme right away. Probably it's one of those situations where I just need to listen to it a few times for it to get good. Well, can I? I think I can now. Okay, so the image goes out. I've got YouTube and Twitter active, so that means I'm free to do this. There you go. First things first, I'm gonna check Twitter. If there is anything people say, I've got 8 notifications. Let's see what people say. If anyone is interested, feel free to check my Twitter, because today I just went fucking bonkers in there with all the tweets about Special Edition, about how lackluster it feels. Final take on this is the tweet that I made. What kind of progress does it have? How many people? 138 likes. I expected actually less, but this is still a good score. If someone wants, feel free to participate in my poll that I made out of complete... Oh, 234 votes. That's insane. 65% go for DMC5 with this available, and 35% for special edition for this available. I expected more of a disaster, so it's 50-50. Not like I care personally. This about microtransactions, like some people are still... DMC5 was up for 1.5 years, and people are still dumping this game because of microtransactions that people don't even pay attention to. Alrighty then. I've got to handle... I don't know if I have the right volume set up for watching videos. Normally I set it up for the game, but let's just find the video for the special edition itself. Maybe on the way I will also find the article about the ray tracing, because I read the article. I will also check about the about how it works in the MC5 SE. IGN, it's weird that the trailers are usually age restricted. I think Devil May Cry is the one that is normally available. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna play this. I'm gonna play this trailer really quick without any changes, and then I'm just gonna do some small analysis. Like, I'm not a great analysis person, but some details I'm gonna pick up, and then let's see what's gonna happen. Please tell me that I have the right volume.
That day, if our positions were switched, would our fates be different? Would I have your life and you mine? You a demon.
This
Fuck. Yeah, I'm muted. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, one by one. Again, where did I? No reversals, no inertia, no turbo. Turbo is gonna be for DMC5. Turbo is gonna be for the next gen consoles. I can agree to your disappointment. Stop whining. Bruh, if I was to be charged for an upgraded version of game for $40, if I was able to buy a version of game like that only features 4 new changes, I would ask what the hell is wrong with you. I can barely afford $60 on a video game from time to time. If I want to spend money on something, I might as well spend it on something that is worth it. I'm just glad they are doing something at all. I thought they abandoned this game. Technically, they did after Bloody Palace update. But the game pretty much got saved by the hype for the new consoles. And I can bet my ass that the reason why they've decided to include Virgil now was because of the next gen. Something tells me that someone came up with a strategy like that. I mean, when it comes to the gaming, it just feels like money is everything. I feel like I wasted my time paying for regular DMC5. Should have just waited for this on. Oh well, that's the DMC way, I guess. That's the Capcom way. And by any chance, I will keep recommending it. If you can get yourself a PC, you don't even need to get strong PC. If you want to play DMC5, get yourself a PC somewhere in the price range of the next gen consoles that are about to come up, $300, $500. It's gonna be enough to handle this game with mods on. You are not gonna regret it. I keep playing with mods, and right now I found out about the special edition upgrade, and I just feel like there's no way I would switch to that from PC. No version for PC. No version for PC. No PC version is whack. That just killed my vibe for this game. If we get the why would they do that? Alrighty then. So bit by bit, I think I'm just gonna play this with 0.25 speed, and I'm just gonna try and pick up the details one by one. I was right about Virgil's theme. I think this is something that I just need to get used to overall. Does it even play? Or maybe I'll go for the half speed and... Alright. Volume is going to be disabled. Oh, now that I think about it, also ray tracing. I've got to find that interview. I don't know if IGN posted this or some other outlet, but I've got to check it out. I'm gonna let it load on the way. Mods plus Virgil DLC is basically special edition, but without the ray tracing, I guess, and without LDK for now. But it's gonna come eventually. Hitchhiker and Penguin already are working on this, so yeah, the only thing that will remain is ray tracing. 100. Oh god damn it! I still have the what was it? High frame, or maybe I'm gonna add high frame rate mode. There you go. I think this is it. Although I remember I was checking different outlet, but I could go for the Eurogamer as well. I mean, it doesn't matter so long as I can get myself the interview that was posted. All those reflections on glass and stuff, all the improved lighting. So this is the first thing that's going to be different. Like that's going to be different, right? This is my guess. Like this cutscene right here will be probably beginning for Virgil's campaign, like intro cutscene or something like that. It's from different perspective. And overall, I think it also has a different color palette. I don't know, something about the background feels weird. Like, it feels more desaturated. I don't know, there's just something weird about this. But I think that this might be the starting cutscene for Virgil's gameplay, like in the MC4 Special Edition. Virgil had like separate cutscene for beginning and the end of the game, and I maybe this will be like the starting cutscene. I don't know about this cutscene. Like, this is from a different perspective as well, different animation. The turn is also different. Camera angle is different. Maybe some additional cutscene, I don't know. It's unusual, really. Okay, let's check the interview. Accept all cookies. I don't even care about cookies. There you go. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is not coming out on PC, so there you go. If anyone was wondering, there you go. During Sony's PlayStation 5 event, Capcom unveiled Special Edition, which includes Virgil as playable character as well as legendary Dark Knight mode. Lots of enemies coming at you at once. Turbo mode, 20% gameplay speed increase, and ray tracing support. The Special Edition is for PS5 and Xbox Series X only, won't be released for PC. While Virgil will be sold as a DLC character for all platforms, other content and features included in the Special Edition will not hit PC. So Turbo, LDK, and ray tracing will not be available on PC, and people might as well shit themselves. Capcom ain't gonna do anything about it. In a post, I think this is it. In a post on the PlayStation blog, Capcom producer Matt Walker said DMC5 Special Edition runs at 120 frames per second with a compatible display via the new high frame rate mode. Good thing that PC was able to do that already, but okay. Walker also said that the game loads crazy fast on PS5. I mean, I don't know if that's much of an issue. I mean, I'm playing on very weak PC. I'm playing DMC5 on very weak PC, and unless I have like really busy occupied PC and the game doesn't have much resources to maneuver with, the loading times themselves are not bad, and at least for my like weak PC. Then again, I'm also using the HDD drive. I'm not using SSD, so those loading times are probably longer than they should be in my case. It makes the use of 3D audio. That's probably in reference to that state of play presentation that was once shown, showing graphic improvements, sound design, about how accurate it's supposed to be. Just wait until you get into a situation where you're surrounded by a bunch of hellbats, Walker said. You'll be able to pinpoint specifically where they all are in relation to the camera based on their cries. This is like a copy and paste of that state of play showcase. Or at least that's the impression that I'm getting. Special Edition also uses DualSense controller's new features. That's the first I hear. For example, when you press L2 to rev up Nero's Exceed, you feel the vibrations of the engine and the pull of the throttle. I assume vibrations were not enough for that. I don't know, I would have to like see how DualSense is actually working in this case. Like, I don't have an image for this right now. Of course, someone already mentioned review bombing. Like, seriously, I do not understand why folks on Steam are doing this. Like, what's the point of review bombing? This won't change anything, that's one. Two, the only thing it actually does is it's giving ass kicking to the PC version, which technically did not do anything wrong. It just feels abandoned. Sold as DLC. Yeah, Virgil is going to be sold as DLC for $5 or $6. Was it mentioned here? I don't know. I don't think it was mentioned in here. Anyone who knows Capcom's history with PC knows full well that PC isn't their priority. Thank you. Someone's thinking. DMC Definitive Edition was only released on PS4 X1, while PC didn't receive the update, even though Definitive Edition was hell of a lot more substantial upgrade than the special editions of the main games. It's like I'm just repeating myself and my own mindset. And that's true. It's mind-wrecking how Ninja Theory was actually able to give more care to their game than Capcom did. Like, the amount of content they release is just embarrassing. Capcom shills invading. They don't even care for sales or their customers. They do care for sales. They do care for sales. There's got to be some sort of reason why they didn't include Virgil at the original release, despite the fact that his files were already available in the main game's files. I will take the Virgil DLC and the theme song, thank you. This guy thinks just because he makes stupid DMC mods that he knows what's up. They didn't even show 2 minutes, so shut the fuck up and wait for TGS. Dude, in current times, 2 minutes of gameplay are more than enough to show what the gameplay is about. Sometimes the trailer is out, 2 minutes are enough, and then people are making conclusions that are not different from reality and from the speculations that were made during the trailer, okay? If I see gameplay for DMC5, I know the Capcom's history, their priorities. I've seen that they don't put much attention into this franchise. For DMC5, they only released Bloody Palace. They could have released so much more. There were plans for so much more. Data miners showed it. There could have been co-op, legit co-op. There could have been Bloody Palace co-op. None of this shit happened. There could have been Divergence mode, which probably allowed the ability to play as all characters in all missions. Now that I think about it, there's also I'm gonna get to that later though. What I'm trying to say is, I have a mindset that if Capcom is going to do something, you cannot expect much from them. And call me whatever you want. You can call me that I'm shilling, I'm butthurt, that that I don't know what I'm talking about. Feel free to say whatever I want. Feel free to say whatever you want about me. Okay? But I have my own mentality, and personally, I gave up when it comes to this upgrade. I gave up the moment I found out that the Bloody Palace upgrade itself for the main game was nothing more than an unlocker for a future that was already available in the free game. In the main game. Like, before Bloody Palace update came out, someone already came up with a trainer that unlocked Bloody Palace without the need for the update. Capcom doesn't care about this franchise as much as people would like, so I don't have much faith when it comes to their upgrades and what they want to offer. I don't have much faith. My expectations are already low. And the fact that they don't even bother to put this on PC, and not even like console players get any sort of compensation. Virgil DLC is probably there for some sort of compensation and so that people can shut up about Virgil. That's pretty much it. But other than that, it's been kept probably for the console hype. Like, I don't know why I'm even explaining myself to you. Like, seriously, I have my own mentality. I've seen the shit that Capcom had done. I've been angry with the way they've been handling DMC ever since Special Edition for 4. So, no, I may not know everything, but I know enough to know that I shouldn't get overhyped. I shouldn't expect much. There is a reason why I'm angry. Because I love this franchise myself. I loved it ever since I started playing it with DMC4. Technically, I started with DMC3 back in PlayStation 2 times. But the thing is, back then when I was playing on PS2, I was still like a little kid. I didn't have like a full grasp on how to play DMC. With DMC4, I started loving this franchise. Then DMC4 Special Edition came out. It featured new characters, but the thing is, the overall enhancement of Special Edition just didn't sit well with me. Not to mention, the game also had few bugs that were not even present in the original release. And now DMC5 came out after a decade of being on life support by the community, not to mention, that were doing combo videos, mods for Devil May Cry 4 and 3 sometimes. If it wasn't for those folks, franchise would be dead. That's pretty much it. DMC5 came out, it got huge reception, it got 3.5 million copies sold. And it was considered a commercial success. And it doesn't get any content whatsoever. It only got a goddamn Bloody Palace unlocker. After a month, Bloody Palace was already in the main game. It only got an unlocker. After that, no post content. And the only thing that this game is getting, I'm not even talking about PC version, is graphical improvements that is not even permanent. The moment you switch to LDK or Turbo, it's gone. You get graphical improvement, you get Virgil, playable Virgil, which also comes as DLC for the original game. You get Turbo, which should have been in the fucking game in the first place. And you get LDK, which is like, as I say, the only understandable thing that I find about this upgrade. Because, you know, LDK, shit ton of demons, that requires more resources. If I was to play LDK on my shitty PC, I would probably have crashes left, right, and center. Okay? So yeah. Call me a shill, call me that I don't know what I'm talking about, but trust me, I've been following this shit for a while, and the one thing that I hate is how much of a big IDGAF syndrome Capcom has towards their own goddamn franchise. They have a gold mine that they're sitting on and they're farting on it. And meanwhile, Resident Evil gets... It got 2 remake games, it's got new game coming on the way, and all of those games got DLCs. If there is a reason why I'm pissed at this, if I'm pissed at this, it's for a reason. So keep defending this if you want. But honestly, if I was to spend only $4 for 4 new upgrades, no. Okay, so now let's watch the gameplay. I just spent way too much time listening to some, like reading to some guy, like Angry Flare Show is now canon. I don't want to get angry, that's the worst part. I feel just heartbroken, I feel sad. For how much people were asking for this? For Ladies DLC, for Virgil DLC, for co-op, for PvP. No, maybe not for PvP. PvP was like... I mean, it wasn't as much, but for co-op at least, considering that the cameo system itself worked. People have been asking for many things for this franchise simply because they love it and they want it to be more. They want for it to evolve. And all of those requests are falling on deaf ears. They've proven that multiple times, especially when it comes to DMC5. What about Street Fighter? What about all the shitstorm that happened with fixing the netcode for the online mode for this game? Capcom didn't even bother to release any update. People had to buzz their asses off to fix the fucking netcode. I don't know everything, but I know enough. Okay, so this is one thing that actually makes me curious, because if you can see that the effects for the slashes have different color. I don't know. Like, I was playing. If you remember the Virgil boss fight in Final Mission for DMC5, focus. The effects themselves had focus around like intense blue color. Now in here it's just like light blue with a bit of mix of green. Exactly that teal color someone mentioned. Maybe this was made to suit the clothing design, maybe. Let me... Judgment Cut, Rapid Slash. Aerial Rave. Upward Slash. There we go. Now what the hell is this? What is this cutscene? That's Virgil, right? That's not Dante. I just got to make sure. Anyway, to boost the yeah, that's Virgil. He made some weird version of Rainstorm. Oh, but wait, he pulls off the same shit as in DMC4 Special Edition. He throws his sword around and it kills the enemies around. That's the same thing that he used in Special Edition, if anyone remembers the starting cutscene. Visual effects are different. Sword teleport? Was it already in and I didn't see it? Summon sword is stuck. That could mean anything. Now the question is if that one sword was for teleport or... No, wait. Sword teleport. Bingo. So yeah, the sword teleport is gonna be the same thing as... Same teleport mechanic from 4 SE is gonna be the thing. You can already see. Again, another sword stuck in the Hellbat. Blistering swords, as usual. Heavy rain swords as well. Spiral swords. This could be possible cutscene for the ending, maybe. Also, this is another thing. I don't know what is. It feels like contrast is different for the cutscenes. I don't know. Faces look different. Also, the saturation for the sword, the gold parts. I don't know. Something feels off about it. It feels differently made than the original cutscenes. Okay, so this is Devil Trigger, classic explosion. Now I assume that this is normal Devil Trigger. I doubt Capcom would actually try and implement that Devil Trigger that they've made in the concept art that was visible in the gallery. The colors do look a bit off. VFX are different. Just give me a second to check the chat. The game looks great as it is. Why is there a need to have a graphic upgrade? I mean, ray tracing is still like a small, not a small thing. Ray tracing is a thing that just started evolving when it comes to the technology, and you might as well consider the newest generation of consoles to be like a starting point for the ray tracing. It will take a while before this picks a pace. Graphics are marketable, especially to people that don't know any better. You know, I'm at the point where I cannot afford. I don't even focus on graphics because I cannot afford good graphics. I have a PC that is below low requirements for DMC5. AMD FX 6300, FX 6300, which is like a 6-core AMD processor, quite old, not to mention, 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM and GTX 950. And for the minimum requirements, you need like the exact same AMD processor, but GTX is required to be at least 960. So no, when I look at the games, I cannot pay attention to graphics. I want to know what the game has for content, what it has to offer. Besides, if I wanted graphical improvements, I can always go for reshade, at least in my case. No legendary Dark Knight, like, come on. Can't believe they shafted PC players. And they were doing so well. I mean, special edition for DMC4 wasn't bad per se. It was questionable in some areas, but it was still a decent port in other areas. DMC5 had a decent optimization for some reason. Details were good enough. All of a sudden, they decided to ditch that. Okay, so here's that DT explosion. This will probably be normal Devil Trigger. Standard roulette spin. It's probably called different. Here's the thing about the doppelganger, because it bugs me. The way this works, I mean, I've only seen the clips of Virgil activating doppelganger when he's in his base form, not during DT. Now here's the thing, either Virgil is gonna have two different power-up mechanics, or you can use only one at a time. And one at a time would actually make more sense, because in both cases, normal Devil Trigger and doppelganger is like additional attack boost, right? So I wonder how they will actually deal with that. Okay, so now this is another thing, the V separation. Not exactly separation, because for some reason Virgil disappears. He's gone. And then there is this V attack. And ironically, this attack uses the same floating animation for V that got discovered by one of the folks who were messing with the game files for the original. It's the same animation. The difference is it has all the effects, summons, so on and so forth. And something tells me that this attack probably works in the same manner as SDT's Judgment. It looks like that, at least. And in here it's the same stuff. In here I don't think it changes much. There's this part about the co-op in here. Like, there is Nero and V in this stage at the same time. Now I'm actually confused, because I don't think I've ever bumped into V during this specific section. I know that he's on the other side of the stairs, but never once I saw both of them together in that specific part. Only at the Angel of fights. So I don't know, maybe something changed, maybe not. Again, I don't have too many hopes. Maybe result of a ray trace lighting. That could be the case, actually. I don't know how much of a change it actually does, the ray tracing, because when Matt Walker showed it in the video, it was like the showcase with Matt Walker. It was like it only showed the reflections and the lighting changes, but I don't know. Cutscenes feel a bit different. On the other hand, the gameplay feels the same. So, at least in my eyes. Bloody Palace, Virgil can be used as well. And here's that thing with Doppelganger. He only uses it during his base form, not during DT. Style and Speed Turbo Mode, Standard, LDK. the amount of enemies present in here would probably cause a game crash for me. That I can safely assume. And this is a beautiful image for you in this scene. You can imagine what would happen if you were to put Devil Trigger on all those rages right here. Imagine playing this on DMD and LDK at the same time. It's like asking for quick death, even faster than Dark Souls, I bet. Did they ever show Judgment Cut End in here? No, I don't think so. Ampuses left, right, and center. The gameplay overall feels... here's a different thing. This I was able to notice. I don't know about those cutscenes, but you can see the shadows on Dante's face. They keep changing. It feels improved comparing to the original game. Feels the same here, it feels the same here. In here maybe it's a bit different. I don't see much changes in cutscenes. That could be just me. And I wonder how the starting screen is gonna work. If the starting screen will only have Virgil in it, or will this keep changing, for example? Like whenever you exit to the title screen, then you will get either whole crew, or maybe Virgil alone, or maybe whole crew with Virgil alone. That would be actually badass. I wonder where they would actually place Virgil if he was to be shown with all the other guys. Phobos, hi there. To be honest, at this point, DMC5 original is or looks better than DMC5 Special Edition. I don't know what you were trying to say here. Ray tracing is like a rain day. V is playable there in standard too. I wonder how they're gonna settle that. Like,
DMC5 SC.
Okay, I don't want drunk Matt Walker. Okay, now let's see the ray tracing
All
around.
right, I'm back, baby. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Walker. I'm the producer on DMC5 SE. We here at Capcom are super excited about the possibilities that the power next gen enables for us. So excited, in fact, that we wanted to take just a couple minutes to show off one of those new features, ray tracing. First up, let's take a look at how reflections are going to take advantage of this new capability. Thanks to ray tracing, we're going to be able to now calculate what should be seen when looking at any reflective surface. And as you can see here, it's going to be done dynamically, just as we can see with Nero and the balloons. For those of you who are unaware,
You can already see from the water alone that the reflections are different. You don't get that much detail from the original DMC5. Also, the balloons are actually... balloons were actually good showcase for
for those of
that.
you who are unaware, ray tracing refers to the ability for the hardware to
Water feels completely different. Jesus, did you actually see that? Like the whole reflection of that building right here with the light gets reflected.
ability for the
insane.
hardware to easily calculate where different objects are in relation to each other in a
All the water puddles right here. A reflection from here. I mean, I do consider ray tracing impressive, but
space by
I just feel like it's still
tracing
way too
rays
early for
created
it.
between. In terms of DMC5 SE's graphical upgrades over the original DMC5, this is going to enable us specifically to create more realistic reflections, as we see here, and lighting. Up until now, we had to find ways to simulate reflections in order to achieve a specific intended artistic effect. But now, we have more power. And that power allows us to break past the limitations that we had in these previous implementations. Next up, lighting. As with the reflections, Ray tracing is also going to help us trace light rays as well. And this is going to help us create more dynamic looking environments. One example that I really love is right here in this room. Notice the way that the curtains move. And as the curtains move, it affects the light shining through the window. As you can see here, this can't be done when the ray tracing is turned off.
Yeah, you can see the reflections right here.
When the ray tracing,
Like curtains move right here, but those little light lines right here, they don't change. And here it just keeps moving.
is turned off.
Man, technology
Ray
just
tracing
moves
also
forward,
enables us to
and it
calculate
surprises
light
me all
as
the
it
time.
bounces between objects, which means lighting can now look even more realistic. And as you can see here, this is going to be most pronounced as you look at the environments of DMC5 SE. The power of Next Gen is going to give players the choice to experience ray trace graphics at 4K, 30 frames per second.
Yeah, good luck with playing with that setting again. I wonder how many people are going to be desperate to play with 30 frames per second. I just want to see those nut jobs. Check the breaking glass on the cutscene where Virgil comes back. Oh yeah, that's right. This was also a thing. I was wondering about that. Don't the wide open levels feel like they were made for LDK in mind? You know, I'm not sure. At this point, I'm just confused. Maybe you can customize it like title calls. That could be the case. Hopefully we can change that in the gallery like in the alternate starting voices. I just keep forgetting that there's this extra content like changing battle themes, style announcers. I'm sure that there will be some way to change that in a to change title screen in a similar manner. And on PC we get none of that. Like yeah, update would actually work for PC, but then again it's probably treated on the same level as the old consoles. I don't know, maybe they don't want to leave out the old consoles. I don't know, it's weird. This really makes me feel like they released DMC5 too early now. If all they needed was next-gen consoles confirmed and a little over a year to make all of this, I would have waited for 2020 release. You know, I'm one of those people that is actually glad that DMC5 got released before the next gen came out, because if it was released during the next gen, I probably wouldn't be able to play it. I'm torn in this case, to be honest. Like, I do agree with you, but on the other hand, I'm happy that it got released earlier. I don't know, it's like I cannot reach a proper compromise here.
1080p, 60 frames per second, or turn off the ray tracing and experience the game at frame rates up to 120 frames per second. Once again, ray tracing is only one of the upgrades that Next Gen is going to enable for us. In addition to the high frame rates that I just talked about, loading times will be greatly reduced. Audio will be even more immersive thanks to new upgraded spatial 3D audio tech. And of course, the extra horsepower and memory is going to give us the opportunity to add new content like legendary Dark Knight mode. We look forward to all of you experiencing these upgrades for yourselves when Devil May Cry 5 SE releases day one on Next Gen.
Well, that's pretty much it, I guess. Oh boy. I guess I'm just gonna remain at least happy that we can all get virtual DLC, at least as some both PC players and the old console players. I mean, it feels more like a compensation. I don't know, I just get that kind of feeling. They could actually make some proper extra content. Like Turbo should already be a thing. LDK, okay. LDK is okay. Ray tracing, I don't know how many people are gonna care about that. I just feel like $40 is just not good enough for this. It's like way too high price.
5 SE. 30.
I don't know. Might as well just wait for the TGS. I'm gonna wait for TGS and what else can be done. But I don't have high hopes, to be honest. I'll just be happy with what is up currently. Turbo co-op PvP, if I get lucky I play it. If I have luck with matchmaking or organizing the PvP or co-op, I play it whenever I can. Strife, various improvements, mods, cosmetics. Price confirmed at 40? Yeah, price confirmed at 40. You know, while I'm at it. No, wait. Get back to that interview because I still wanted enjoys a very positive user review rating. Exasperated PC players are leaving new negative reviews to voice their discontent. Yeah, but that's the problem. This ain't gonna change anything. If anything, it only hurts the PC version of the game. And it didn't do anything wrong. PC version itself is a great port, and it's just getting ass kicked. And it's just getting its ass kicked for simply because people are not happy with what's going on. Over on Steam, where the MC5 enjoys a very positive review rating, exasperated PC players are leaving new negative reviews to voices their discontent. The Last of Us 2 didn't solve... Review bombing never solved anything. Metro Exodus never solved anything. It does send a message, okay, but it doesn't change anything in the long run. I love this game, but I found out today, on the day Nvidia dropped a new GPU specialized in ray tracing, that Capcom is only releasing Virgil now to see upgrades on PC. Save yourself the money and don't buy it unless this changes. But I wonder, where was that part with... No. I don't think this was that interview then. Okay, where's the website for DMC5? There you go. Get back here. Okay, I might as well check this. Okay, I accept. Ray tracing support to come to Xbox Series after launch. Yeah, this was also mentioned on the main website. I'm just gonna enter random date. XDE. Why does Capcom like RE so much? It's because it brings money. Simple. If it's about something, it's gotta be about money. Publishers, gaming companies, if it's a profit, I don't know if this was Scale Up who said that. Gaming companies do not care about what's popular, they care about what's profitable. Or was it someone else who said it? I don't even remember. Where would I've got to go for the news, right? Fan favorite Virgil. Let's get back to here. Ray tracing features will be available upon release for PlayStation 5 version and will be added to the Xbox Series X version in a downloadable patch post-release. Now that I'm thinking, I wonder what's gonna happen with the Series X, not Series X, Series S, which is like smaller version of the Xbox Series, the one for $300. DMC5 Special Edition also confirmed that ray tracing features are automatically disabled when high frame rate mode is enabled and in Turbo and Legendary Dark Knight modes. Object rendering is prioritized and ray tracing is automatically disabled when high frame rate mode is enabled or when playing Turbo or Legendary Dark Knight modes. In other words, as I said, the moment someone tries to make their game more harder, why did I say more harder? Harder, no need for more. If you play on Turbo or LDK, ray tracing is pretty much obsolete, one of its main features. And they're charging $40 for that. Virgil as playable character, this is gonna be DLC of course for the PC version. The MC5 Special Edition launches on PS5 and Xbox Series X digitally. The game will be available at launch this November for both. Take the new challenger through both the story mode and the challenging Bloody Palace. So my guess is that when it comes to the story mode, Virgil is going to be separated in the same manner as the MC4 Special Edition. The order of the missions will remain the same for the original characters. You will play as V, Dante, and Nero in one campaign. Divergence mode will probably not be a thing after all. You won't be able to select all characters for all missions. And Virgil will be able to pass the entire 20 missions without any problem. Let's check the kind of tired. Feel the power of next gen, heart racing frame rates, razzle dazzle of ray tracing. It's just lighting improvement. Come on, it was already good enough in the original game. Like it is impressive, but I doubt this is why people decide to buy the game. LDK, ray tracing. Like from this screenshot, the only difference that maybe not, yeah. At first I thought it was only the water, but you can see the shadows on the walls themselves. How about the there you go, this note right here. Single twitch with a high frame rate mode, 120 FPS. Relentless, even more relentless speed in turbo mode. Even greater challenge awaits in LDK. Blood burns with a blue flame as Virgil joins the fight. Virgil will also be made available in Devil May Cry 5. So, thankfully, at least consoles and PC will get that, at least. Bury the Light, coming September 21st. Gotta check that later, when it comes out. Additional content from the Lux upgrade. X color costumes. Bloody Palace mode. I can safely assume that all the extra weapons like Kavar, Sweet Surrender, all the stuff right here, it still probably won't be usable in Bloody Palace. Because leaderboards. What else? Physical release date pending. How does the physical release even work? Like, as far as I'm aware, PS5 doesn't have a like disk drive, right? So this is like, is this like, I don't know, deluxe edition of special edition? I don't know. The MC5 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are compatible for PlayStation 5, but contain none of the additional features or content included in the special edition. SE is not available via smart delivery. Ray tracing will be available upon release for PS5, will be added to Xbox Series X version and a downloadable patch post-release. I guess that's pretty much it. So final conclusion. People are gonna pay $40 for a playable character and for the features that should have been in the game in the first place. And ray tracing. I don't know how about others. I feel underwhelmed. I mean, I don't have console, so technically I shouldn't even care. But one would actually hope that the next gen that was talked about how it would improve a lot over the previous generation, I was hoping that DMC5 would at least get some more content for. It was a perfect opportunity and it was simply blown away. Just like multiple times before. Final Fantasy 16, God of War. Those are the titles that I'm gonna keep an eye out for. I thought DMC5 exceeded sales predictions. Yeah, it did. 3.5, I think someone mentioned 3.7 million copies sold of DMC5. And someone wants something, they get it or do it. It doesn't pull the same kind of bank RE does. According to the Xbox, the Series S can still do 120 FPS, but not at 4K. I mean, considering ray tracing can be handled at 1080p 60 frames per second, there is no way Series S will be able to handle that on 4K. 20 FPS will be probably without ray tracing. But I wonder how I just wonder how the ray tracing will be solved for the Series S. I have a bad feeling about it, to be honest. I hate that Virgil is getting the 3 and 4 treatment again. I wanted him to get his own story campaign and bosses. Basically, it will make cutscenes look nicer, but for good gameplay, I can't even use ray tracing. Seems kind of pointless then. Depends how you play the game. So long as you don't touch turbo or LDK, you can play with ray tracing however you want. Then again, if you want a challenge, you will probably be bound to go for the turbo and ray tracing. Not ray tracing, LDK and turbo at some point. Is FF16 also coming to PC? Final Fantasy 16 is PS5 and PC. Nice. Capcom has always screwed DMC games in some way. Yeah, this is like a stigma that I don't think will ever get removed. DMC1 was born from Resident Evil. DMC2 was a complete mess in terms of gameplay. I mean, it wasn't entirely bad, but it was clunky. I remember it was clunky. DMC3 was like the only legit proper release without any big fuck ups. DMC4, all the problems with backtracking, lack of campaign. And DMC5 just feels like a wasted opportunity. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma also. I wonder what's gonna happen with DD. I still have to finish the bitter Black Isle. I don't think I finished yet. For the vanilla, it's just Virgil with new song. Is it me or does FF16 looks very DMC-ish? No, it probably won't have the same combat system. Maybe it will have something to do. Maybe it will have something to do with the combat system that was introduced in with the 7 remake. I still have to rewatch the trailer for this. All right, I guess that's about it. For how long I've been streaming? 3 hours. Okay, so I reached a quota, the unofficial one. This I can disable, this I can enable. To all the people out there who decided to watch this mediocre, catastrophic stream with probably the first rant I've ever documented of mine on my channel. Thanks for jumping in, thanks for sticking with me for watching some of the gameplay. I didn't do much today. I mean, the whole special edition thing, it's just... I expected something more, slightly more. Again, thanks for jumping in. It was fun talking with you guys. Thanks for letting me know about your opinions. It's good to see that I'm not the only one. I mean, I thought that maybe there was something wrong with me. It just seriously felt lackluster. Over the time, I just got angry. I had to let some steam out, both on Twitter, as you can see from the notifications, and also on the stream as well. So thanks for sticking around. Something tells me that I will probably remove this stream by the end of the day. Whenever I can, I will come back to modding. I don't know when that will happen. Maybe I will do some stuff whenever I have time, but for the time being, this stream was just like exceptional. Like, I just had to do it. Like an emergency stream, you might as well call it. Take care, people. Thanks for watching again, and have a good day, night, or whatever. Let's hope that TGS may show something more, although I shouldn't hope for too much. Take care. Cheers.